An Erotic Story by Max Baer III. Jane stared into Frank's eyes, those beautiful, ominous eyes that practically meowed with sexual enticement, sort of like, meow, meow, meow. Frank could bear it no longer. He took Jane by the nape of the neck and kissed her sweet lips and squeezed her titties as if he was squeezing a pair of bigger titties he was thinking about in his head at the same time. Like Malar balloon-sized titties, not too big, but just big enough to fall under the category of bigger than normal. Like a C cup or higher. I don't really know titty sizes, I just know that they were above par. This frantic booby squashing caused Jane's left puss lip to quake and tremor like an epileptic slug having a seizure brought on by a strobe light of some nearby outdoor wedding reception. This made Jane's tummy feel good, yet not good. You know, like that feeling you get when you get excited sexually and you feel a sort of warm, prickly feeling that's not painful, but it kind of hurts, and you need to like jerk off to make it not hurt anymore? That kind of feeling. I guess the technical term is horny, but I call it swamp belly. Because, you know, your belly feels like a swamp that needs to be jerked off. Anyway, Jane had swamp belly, and so did Frank. They had swamp bellies. Anyway, Jane felt the full force of Frank's wiener poke just below her sternum through his spandex. Did I mention Frank was wearing spandex? Well, he was wearing spandex. By inference of the position of Frank's wiener to Jane's anti-sternum, one can surmise that Jane was shorter than Frank. Frank loved short women. He loved short hair. He loved short shorts. He was a passionate man that was taller than Jane, whose sternum was now being prodded by his swollen tallywhacker. Jane's bottom was dripping with anticipation. Not literally, because if she were really dripping from her bottom, Frank would have been disgusted. Frank may be a fan of short shorts and fire safety, but he was no fan of dripping bottoms or dripping anything for that matter. He hated faucets and radiators. Frank violently ripped Jane's shirt off with his well-muscled arms. Jane's boobies flopped around due to the violence of Frank's shirt ripping. This boob flopping caused Frank's wiener to flinch like a daughter worm telling her parent worms that she was knocked up and waiting for their unknown reactions. Will they be cool with it or not? You never know with worm parents. Nonetheless, Jane's lower sternum was chafing something awful. I think she was allergic to the spandex. The next article of clothing to come off was Jane's bra, which Frank politely asked Jane to take off herself, because he never really mastered the logistics of the hook mechanisms that kept the bra fastened. He wasn't mechanically inclined. Once Jane was fully naked with her nudity, Frank slowly slid off his spandex to reveal his precious ding-dong. Jane's eyes widened as her rods and codes within her cornea sent the visual message to her brain that she was in the presence of an unsheathed ding-dong. Now they both were naked and ready for lovemaking. Frank laid on the ground, holding his bonerized shaft up so Jane doesn't accidentally sit on his nuts directly, causing him pain. Pain that can only come from squashed nuts due to an accidental scissor hole by Jane's butt lips. Oh, I'm sorry, the technical term is vulvo. Now Jane gently straddles Frank. Frank is all smiles because it feels good to have your boner straddled upon. I can't blame the guy. Anyway, they did the sex thing for about 2 minutes, ample time for Frank's wiener to undulate and muscle pump sperm out of his body and into the cold night air because Frank is a type of lover who pulls out. After this pulling out of the spitting wiener was done, they watched television. I think John and Kate Plus 8 was on, but they watched John Woo's 2003 movie Hulk instead. It was on TBS and edited for time content. Why does everybody shit on this movie? I thought it was decent, although slow at times. At any rate, Jane and Frank fell asleep in the middle of it to dream of stuff that had nothing to do with anything about their real lives. Yeah, passion is like that and stuff. The end.